Hello, my loves. Welcome to your healing session. In today's Reiki healing, I am going to be focusing on removing any negative entities that may have latched itself onto you and your energetic field, causing any blockages, disruption in your life, bad luck. Any energy that is not of pure divine love and light is going to be removed from the session. If you accept this healing, you can simply nod or say, I do. And let's begin. Your healing session is now complete. Any negative entities have now been removed from your system, and any energy that's not of pure divine love and light has been transmuted into the light. It's been an honor being part of your healing journey today and being able to share Reiki with you all. If you enjoyed this session, please let me know in the comments below and let me know any other healings you would like for me to do as well. I'm sending you all so much love and so much light. May blessings and miracles flow your way today and every day. Bye, everyone.
If we do not open our minds, I call this the human body, mind, computer, biological computer. If we don't open our minds and let the true self in consciousness, then humans are operating literally in a closed system. What humans are is the program leading the program. And the archons, these Gnostics said, were a manipulative force that operated outside of human sight. They manipulated by accessing the human psyche and manipulating humans' perception of reality. But the vast majority, at least, of humans have been going through entire lifetimes without having a single original thought or emotional response.
Have you ever wondered if everyone around you is truly alive inside? If everyone who inhabits this planet is genuinely human? Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the visionary mystic who revolutionized spiritual thought over a century ago and founded the Theosophical Society, posed a disturbing possibility. In her profound writings, she spoke of beings who, though they appear human, lack a soul. Beings she called human shells. They live among us, but they are disconnected from that divine spark that transforms mere existence into full consciousness. This idea, as unsettling as it is strange, was not only presented by her. David Icke speaks of invisible forces controlling humanity through soulless leaders, puppets serving a hidden agenda. And long before him, the ancient Gnostics also warned us of the existence of beings devoid of spirit, trapped in matter, without access to true knowledge. These shells walk among us, disconnected from their divine essence, merely reacting to the impulses of a system that controls them from the shadows. But what if this is not just a metaphor? What if we are truly surrounded by soulless beings? In this video, we are going to unravel the mystery of these soulless entities. We will discover who they are, how to identify them, and most importantly, how to avoid becoming one of them by awakening your soul from the slumber in which many unknowingly fall. As Gurdjieff said, awakening is not an accident, it is a conscious choice. Let's dive in. Helena Blavatsky, the soul and its mysteries. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was no ordinary mystic. Born in 1831 in Russia, this woman traveled across the globe from India to Egypt in search of the hidden truths behind various religions and cultures. She studied with mysterious masters around the world and founded Theosophy, a movement that aimed to unite the spiritual wisdom of the East and West. Her masterpiece, The Secret Doctrine, published in 1888, is a Bible of esotericism, and it is where we find her most intriguing ideas about the soul. For Blavatsky, the human being is not just flesh and bone. We are composed of 7 principles: the physical body, the astral body, vital energy or prana, desires or karma, the lower mind or manas, the spiritual intuition or buddhi, and finally, the pure spirit, atma. which connects us to the divine. It is what gives us consciousness, what makes us look at the sky and ask, "Who am I? What am I doing here?" But here lies the essence of this message. Not all those principles are fully active in every person. According to Blavatsky, the human soul, which she calls manas, is the bridge between the animal and the divine. It is what makes us conscious, what allows us to reflect and evolve spiritually. But not everyone develops it. In The Secret Doctrine, Blavatsky explains that the soul can die while the body remains alive. It is not a physical death, but a spiritual one. If someone sinks into depravity, madness, or lives so trapped in the material that they forget their essence, the manas dissolves, losing connection with its higher self. What remains is a shell, a body that breathes, that acts, but without inner light, without that subjectivity that makes us feel the world. Biological automatons, she says, indistinguishable from the outside. We could see it this way. Imagine the physical body as a container or a vessel that houses the spirit or divine spark. This connection can be nurtured and cultivated, strengthening the bond with our essence, or it can weaken and even disconnect entirely. When that connection weakens or is lost, that's when we become automatons, easily manipulated beings. According to Blavatsky, this is not a punishment, but part of a cosmic process. Blavatsky saw life as a great evolutionary ladder. There are souls that advance, that awaken their higher manas and connect with Buddhi and Atma, the spirit, and there are others that lag behind, trapped in what she called kama manas, the mind dominated by base desires. In Isis Unveiled, another of her key works, she says something thought-provoking. Our current cycle is preeminently one of such deaths of the soul. We rub shoulders with soulless men and women at every step of life. What did she mean by this? That in times of spiritual decline, as she perceived in the modern world, many lose that inner connection. They are not physically dead, but spiritually they are dormant, empty. Today, this is more evident than ever. What are these shells like? They walk among us, talk like us, and can even imitate emotions, but they don't feel in the real sense. There's no internal experience, no silent dialogue you have with yourself when you look at the stars or face a dilemma. From the outside, you can't distinguish them. You could sit down for coffee with one and not realize it. But something in your intuition notices it. A sense of emptiness, as if you were talking to an automaton. You've already seen them, that co-worker who only talks about football and believes whatever the news tells him without question. That neighbor who repeats the same phrases every day like a broken record. That insensitive politician who just follows an agenda. Blavatsky suggests that phenomena like possession or certain states of madness or psychopathy could be signs of that loss. The body keeps functioning, but the soul is gone, dissolved into the cosmic ether and left at the mercy of other entities. This is where an interesting idea comes in that will be developed further. Certain authors, like David Icke, believe that these soulless humans, or those disconnected from their soul, are particularly vulnerable to being parasitized by other entities. The Gnostics, in their time, referred to these beings as archons, entities that feed on chaos and the manipulation of humanity. According to Icke and other authors, many of the world's rulers and magnates could be parasitized by these archons. Rather than serving humanity, they may follow the interests of these shadowy entities, using their power to guide or dominate humanity for dark purposes. The Gnostics and their dualistic vision. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the Gnostics, those rebellious mystics of the early centuries of Christianity, left behind writings such as those found in Nag Hammadi in 1945, which already spoke of something similar. To them, the material world was a prison created by a lesser god, the demiurge, often identified with Yahweh of the Old Testament. Humans, they said, were divided into three types: the hilics, slaves of matter without a divine spark; the psychics, with an intermediate soul; and the pneumatics, bearers of gnosis, the secret knowledge that sets them free. The hilics were bodies without inner light, the human shells of Blavatsky. In the Gnostic Gospel of Philip it says, "There are many who are in this world, but they are not of it." Sounds familiar, doesn't it? For the Gnostics, as for Blavatsky, the soul is not a universal gift. It is a conquest. The demiurge and his archons, beings that govern this world, keep most people in ignorance, like puppets without their own will. Only those who awaken, those who seek gnosis, escape. David Icke.
I was on stage yesterday and a question came from the audience. This man said, "I'm struggling with my mom. She's really negative. I want to cut her out of my life. And I feel like I don't know what to do." And the advice that he gets from many people is that that's exactly the right thing to do. You should cut out negativity. You should get rid of that person and you don't have time for that in your life. And in some level, this is true. You want to take care of yourself and protect yourself from negative influences in your life. But once you do that and you have your own space, you want to step back in and see that person with love. And I reminded him that anybody that is expressing negativity, is expressing pain or fear in the world, it's only because they have that pain, that confusion, that negativity inside. When you notice that and you see them as a person instead of an action, will that help them change? It'll help you relax and change too. It feels so much better to come from love than to come from anger or fear.
Jeffrey Allen was a seemingly normal software engineer from Colorado who developed a weird, almost superhuman ability. He seemed to be able to generate synchronicities at will. He was able to attract new cars, new homes, even the money he needed without ever using any kind of law of attraction, vision board, or affirmation. Now, by being in exactly the right place at exactly the right time, he was able to align himself with the right opportunities and the exact people he needed in that moment. He seemed to live a life that was blessed by the universe, as though the universe had his back and was always nudging him in the right direction. And in a few moments, he's going to share how he's been able to do
You ever get that feeling late at night, like something's about to happen? Not the kind of feeling you get from too much caffeine or scrolling through conspiracy videos at 3 a.m. No. I mean that real feeling, the kind that creeps up your spine, taps you on the back of the neck, and whispers, "Stay awake." That itch in your gut that says, "Don't lock up just yet, because maybe, just maybe, tonight isn't like the others. Maybe tonight the knock on your door isn't trouble. Maybe it's opportunity wearing a mask. Or maybe it's truth finally catching up to your lies. Either way, you'd better be ready." Nightfall, the grand illusionist's curtain call. When the sun clocks out and shadows punch in, that's when the real show begins. You see, most people think the world shuts down at night, like it's some store that flicks the closed sign and calls it a day. But no.
That's just the surface trick. Beneath it, a symphony of chaos, of motion, of possibilities. The kind of possibilities that tiptoe across the floorboards while you're drooling on your But hey, they warned you not to keep the door open, didn't they? Said it was dangerous, said it was foolish, said you'd regret it. But isn't that the sweetest part? When you ignore the whispering crowd and do it anyway. Because see, when the world sleeps, destiny doesn't. It's wide awake, baby, fully caffeinated, and it's got a wicked grin on its face. It doesn't knock politely. No, it barges in through open doors. The kind that belong to the curious, the brave, the mad ones. Those crazy enough to believe that something extraordinary could walk in at any moment. Because it can, and it does. While others wrap themselves in comfort like a security blanket, some folks stand in the hallway, barefoot, waiting for the sound of fate's footsteps. Imagine that. Imagine being so in tune with the chaos that you welcome it with open arms. No alarms, no locks, no backup plans. Just you, standing there in the dark, grinning back at the unknown. That's not fearlessness. That's art. That's the dance between recklessness and vision. Most people never hear the knock because they've already deadbolted their destiny shut with fear. But some leave the door cracked. Just enough for something wild to slip in and change everything. And when it does, it's not soft. It doesn't whisper sweet nothings into your ear. It slams into your life like a wrecking ball in a silk suit. And if you're not ready, if you've got your feet stuck in routine, in safety, in the beige wallpaper of a predictable life, you won't survive it. You'll blink and it'll be gone, laughing all the way to someone else's door. Someone who was ready. Someone who dared to wait in the... Because let me tell you something most won't admit. The universe doesn't favor the safest. It favors the strangest. The ones who keep the light on for miracles. The ones who expect madness and don't flinch when it arrives. That's where the shift happens. That's where the boring ends and the story begins. You want to be ordinary? Fine. Close the door, lock it, sleep tight. But if you want the extraordinary, you better leave that door open. You better listen closely. You better learn how to stand still in the noise.
Meet the great physician, you in the greatest position. And coming to his fruition, intuition. This is his vision. I envision. I hope you listen.
When your mind is restless.
This is a new day. Welcome in the new day. We in a new age. Welcome to the new age.
It comes when logic is too tired to argue. It comes in the form of a whisper, a gut feeling, a chill in the air that makes no sense.
Welcome to the new day. Welcome to the new age.
Twice.
New age.
So
This
while
is
the
the new
world
day. Welcome to the
dreams its
new
little
age. New
dreams, while the
age.
safe
New
ones
age.
snore
New
through the
age.
magic.
New
The chosen
age.
ones
New
are wide-eyed
age.
on the
New
hallway.
age.
They know
New
something's
age.
coming.
New age.
They can feel it pressing
Welcome
against
to the
the
new
walls.
day.
And they're not afraid to meet it face to face.
While you
even
was
if it
living
has
in your
teeth.
dreams, he can now connect the teams
Because
and bring the
that's the
balance upon the
trick,
beams.
isn't
He
it?
be the king of peace. He be the
Everything
king
you
of kings.
want,
See, he just took away the mental
Everything
disorder
you
of
are meant
memories.
for,
Yes.
it's standing
Biologically,
just outside the
subatomically,
door,
get the chemistry,
tapping
it's
its
elementary.
foot.
Physiology and
But it won't wait
sociology,
forever.
psychology,
You either
micro
open it
autonomy,
or you miss
nuclear
it.
family. You said you were
That's the
top of
deal.
me.
That's the punchline.
What you think you talking, G? With no
joke's on the ones who
apologies,
think
this
they
no
got
Apollo
more
creed.
time.
This is Apostles'
The ones
creed.
who
With no
think playing it
philosophy,
safe
I'm a
is
colossal
safe.
breed. What does it cost to breathe?
But the truth is,
Carbon
you're
tax,
already breaking.
apostasy.
Every day you keep that door
I'm only
closed
going in to
piece
cut
of
it
your
out.
face.
Lobotomy.
So one day, all you've got
Don't know what the hell you
left
was
is a
thinking.
memory
You never
of what
stopping
could
me.
have been. Of the night
But while you in there
something
thinking,
came
or die. This is a new day.
Ah, the beautiful little
This
lie
is a
we
new
tell
day.
ourselves that everything happens when it's supposed
Welcome
to.
to the new day.
We sit back,
in a
we
new
wait,
age. Welcome to the new
watch
age.
the clock, thinking
New
some
day.
grand
This is a
moment
new
will
day,
arrive,
new day.
neatly wrapped
New
like a
day,
present.
new day.
But oh, the fun of it.
New day, new age,
Life
new age, new
doesn't
age,
work that
new
way.
age, new
Life
age,
isn't polite.
new
Life
day,
isn't
new
patient.
age,
Life is that trickster who laughs in
new
your
day,
face as it
new
pulls the
age,
rug out
new
from under
age, new
you.
day, new
Too
day,
dazed to
new day,
even
new
catch
age.
your back. So here you are,
Angelomorphism, I present to you
waiting
the
for
King
the
of Kings.
perfect time.
Look to the
waiting for
skies
right
and you can see a sweet as star
How
seeds.
precious.
See, it takes blood
How
to give
neat.
blood, the currency.
But here's
And
the
now
thing.
currently, it just
Nothing
occurred to
ever
me.
happens
My op
at the
urgent me.
right
I do it
time.
urgency. This
Not
is your
when you're
surgery.
counting
We
on
working
it.
urgently,
Not when you're
like an insurgency.
expecting
We come secure
It
the scene,
happens
no
when you
insecurity.
least
My eye
expect it.
curing these.
When the
Listen to
clock's
the
ticking
beats,
down,
and when you awakening
you're
from your
just
sleep,
trying to
just
breathe.
realize that the King of Kings,
you're so
Yahuwah,
tired
Yahusha,
of
Allahim,
waiting,
He
you
came to
almost
set you
forget
free, and I
who's
plead the
waiting
blood
for you
of
in
the
first
King.
place. And then, bam, it hits you.
Love it, come
The
up
moment.
and scatter me, hug with me.
Slaps you
This is
right
a new
across
day,
the
new
face.
age,
Just
new
when you think
day,
you've been
new
left out of
age,
the
new
game,
age.
the world pulls you back in.
And I ain't talking about these
Oh,
new
but
age
how
movements
many
out here. We
people
going
really
way
get it?
deeper than the
How many
ancient times of
actually
history could
see
even
the
speak.
beauty
But
in the chaos,
understand that
the
wisdom is the
opportunity
principal
in the
thing.
madness?
Therefore, get with
Not
all
many.
understanding.
You
Get
see, it's
wisdom.
easy to sit in the corner and whine about the
Trust
way
not in
things
your own
should
heart,
be.
nor lean into your own
It's easy to
understanding.
blame the world for your failures, for your broken dreams, for your misplaced hopes. It's so easy you could do it with your eyes closed. But you know what's harder? Opening your eyes to the mess. Opening your eyes and seeing that the thing you've been waiting for is right there in front of you. Scrappy, imperfect, messy, just like you. That's the fun part. The fun part is realizing that the moment doesn't need to be perfect. The opportunity doesn't need to be packaged in gold foil. It doesn't need to be anything more than a little crack in the door, a glimpse of what's on the other side, teasing you, daring you to walk through. The moment doesn't arrive when you've got your whole life figured out. It doesn't walk in with a road map. It doesn't hand you the answers. Oh no, my friend. The moment kicks the door open and says, I'm here. Come figure it out. And if you're not ready, well, tough luck. The universe doesn't wait. It doesn't wait for you to decide if you're ready or if you've got your stuff together. The universe doesn't. It just moves. And you either catch up or you don't. You either jump in or you get left behind. The moment doesn't care if you've got the perfect plan or the perfect timing. It doesn't care about any of that. It just cares if you're willing to jump. And let me tell you something, most people don't jump. They hesitate, they wait, they question, they overthink, they do everything but actually move. And that's when the moment leaves. That's when the opportunity walks away, laughing, while you sit there second-guessing yourself. Because here's the thing, the world isn't going to stop for you. It's not going to wait while you figure out what to do next. It's just going to keep moving, and you'll be left with a long list of what-ifs and maybe next times. The moment doesn't play fair. It doesn't care if you're ready or if you've got all your ducks in a row. It just happens. And the question is, will you show up for it, or will you blink and miss it? Oh, but you want to know the best part? The best part is that the world doesn't care if you screw up. You see, the thing about all those moments you missed, they weren't the end of the world. They weren't your last shot. The world doesn't play like that. It doesn't make you wait for years for that one perfect chance. No, no, no. It gives you plenty of chances, plenty of cracks in the door. The trick is in how you look at them. Most people see the crack and they look away. They think, nah, that can't be it. I'm waiting for something bigger, something better. But the ones who know, the ones who get it, they don't wait. They don't look for the perfect opening. They see that tiny crack, that small opportunity, and they charge right through it. They get their hands dirty. They mess it up, but they move. Because they know one thing: a crack is better than a closed door. It's better than waiting. It's better than wishing. It's better than standing still while the world just keeps moving on without you. So what will you do when the moment comes? Will you sit there waiting for the stars to align, or will you jump through that crack and see where it leads? You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need the perfect timing. You just need to step through, because once you do, that's when the game changes. Once you do, that's when the magic happens. But if you don't, well, then you'll just be one of the many who stand at the door, waiting for it to open wide, missing the real thrill of life, being the one who takes a chance. You know, we all like to think we're in control, like we've got it all figured out, like we can steer the ship in the right direction. But here's the thing: life doesn't give a damn about your plans. Doesn't care how many hours you've spent trying to map out your next move, trying to predict where it's going to go. Life doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for you to get it together. It just happens. And most of the time it happens while you're busy trying to make sense of the chaos. You think you've got your neat little path all laid out, but then bam, life hits you in the face. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? The unpredictability, the mess, the feeling that no matter how many times you try to prepare for the storm, it's still gonna tear your world apart, and you'll just have to figure out how to rebuild. You think you're getting ahead, but the truth is, life doesn't care how much you try to control it. It doesn't care how many times you check off your list, or how many times you think you've figured out the answer. It's just gonna keep going, whether you like it or not. And that's where the power is, my friends. It's not in the control, it's not in the plans, it's not in the illusion that you can predict what's coming next. No, the real power, it's in embracing the chaos. In realizing that no matter how much you try to avoid it, the mess is always going to find you. And you can either keep running from it, or you can dive in. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not easy. We've all been there, right? Trying to fix everything, trying to make it all look nice and neat, trying to avoid the mess, avoid the hurt, avoid the pain. But it doesn't work like that, does it? No matter how much you try to control it, no matter how much you try to smooth everything out, life is always going to find a way to throw you off course. It's like a prankster sneaking up on you when you least expect it, laughing at your attempts to stay in control. But you know what? It doesn't have to be a bad thing. That chaos, that's where the growth is. That's where the real transformation happens. When the world falls apart, that's when you have the chance to rebuild it the way you want. But you can't do that if you're too busy trying to control everything. You can't do it if you're stuck in the illusion that you can predict the next step. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Hell, it's not. It's like trying to juggle fireballs while blindfolded. But that's the beauty of it. The chaos forces you to look at things differently. Forces you to realize that you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know what's coming next. You don't even have to be okay with it. But what you do need to do is show up. Show up for the mess. Show up for the unpredictability. Show up for the parts of life that you don't understand and can't control. And you don't have to do it alone. That's the thing about chaos. It's like a big party where everyone's invited, but no one really knows what's going on. Everyone's stumbling around trying to make sense of it, and when you look around, you realize you're not the only one who's lost. You're not the only one who's confused. You're not the only one who's trying to make it through the madness. So what do you do when life hits you with a curveball, when the world flips upside down, when everything you thought you knew comes crashing down? You pick yourself up, you get dirty, you embrace the mess, and you realize that the chaos, it's just a chance to rebuild, a chance to build something new, something better, something that's yours. Life isn't about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about embracing the mess, embracing the unpredictability, and realizing that you don't have to be in control to make something amazing. You just have to be willing to show up, because that's the beauty of the chaos. That's where the magic is. In the mess, in the confusion, in the unexpected. That's where the real story begins, and who knows what you'll build from it. Maybe it's a masterpiece, maybe it's a disaster, but at least it's yours. At least it's real. And that's more than most people will ever have. Oh, the world likes to tell you stories, doesn't it? Picture perfect little tales wrapped up in neat little bows. The kind you hear as a kid, the kind that makes you believe things are supposed to follow a pattern. Happiness, success, the whole charade. They love to say, oh, life will be fine as long as you stick to the script. But let me tell you something, my friend. Scripts, they're for amateurs. Life's not a damn play. It's a free-for-all. The moment you buy into that perfect little fantasy, that's when life kicks you square in the teeth. You want to know the secret? The key to surviving the madness that is life? You don't stick to the script. You rewrite it. Rip it up, tear it down, and then build something new with the wreckage. That's the game, isn't it? We're all playing it. We're all pretending to be the stars of our own little movies, trying to be the hero, trying to make it all look like we've got it together. But you know what? The people who make it, really make it, they aren't the ones trying to fit in. No. The ones who make it are the ones who can throw the script away, burn it, and improvise like their lives depend on it. Because guess what? They do. Look around you at all the shiny, happy faces on TV, the social media influencers with their perfect little filters, the corporate puppets with their big, shiny smiles, and you know what you'll see? A whole lot of people who are too scared to take the leap, too scared to throw the script out the window and start writing their own damn story. They're too busy trying to... But here's the thing about the mold. It's not real. It's an illusion. A cage, a trap where you're forced to be something you're not. And the worst part is, the more you try to fit in, the more it drains you. It takes the life out of you. All for what? To be just like everyone else? No, my friend. That's not the way. The way? It's to embrace the chaos, to step into the unknown with nothing but your own wit and whatever you've got in your pockets. You see, in life, the real winners aren't the ones who played it safe, stayed in the lines, followed the rules. The real winners are the ones who saw the rules and decided to break every single one of them. They're the ones who looked at the perfect little fairy tales and laughed. They're the ones who grabbed the pen and started writing their own script without asking for anyone's approval. And let's be clear about something. Writing your own script doesn't mean you're going to have all the answers. It doesn't mean you're going to know exactly how things are going to turn out. Far from it. Writing your own script means walking into the unknown, knowing full well that you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to mess up royally. And that's the beauty of it. You make mistakes, you learn, you grow, and then when you least expect it, you find yourself standing on top of the world, looking down at the wreckage of everything that tried to keep you down. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, far from it. But who wants easy anyway? Easy is boring. Easy is safe. And in case you haven't noticed, safe is the enemy. Safe keeps you in that little box, keeps you small, keeps you from experiencing what life really has to offer. Life isn't meant to be lived in a damn box. Life is about jumping off the edge and hoping you grow wings before you hit the ground. And you know what? Sometimes you don't grow wings. Sometimes you fall flat on your face. But that's when you get up and laugh. That's when you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, is that all you've got? Because every time life knocks you down, it's a chance to rise again. It's a chance to prove that you're not just a pawn in the game. You're not just another face in the crowd.